Hello and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality TV. And
Par. y'all. This video is delayed. To be honest, we didn't want to do it. We didn't give a damn. If you watch the finale, you know damn well why we weren't trying to do it, because this was one of the worst finales in reality television history, child.
I just want to say thank you so much to the kingdom. If you're in the kingdom, thank you so much for sticking with us through this horrid season. I genuinely
the girls
appreciate
who
it.
watched, because the girls was not watching.
If you're here, I know you're already subscribed, because no way you're watching this unless you support us, because you don't support the show.
Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Today, as you see, we're going to be talking about, unfortunately, the Challenge USA finale. And can we call it a finale?
Child.
The last episode of the Challenge USA. As you see, I have my chips. I have my drink.
Ooh, Lay's? Taylor Lay's?
It's not Lay's. It's Funyuns.
Oh, you're embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. Does. It reminds me of how my feet smell. Okay, so.
Oh, the podcast?
So, let's get into this. Y'all, get ready to gag.
All the stands leaving.
Get ready to gag, because there will be no serious conversation. Nothing really happened. So we're going to start off. And I'm just going to read my notes just like this. Kayla and Enzo talk about Angela. They're jealous. And they have been for many, many weeks. Kayla is stressed because Angela's going to whoop that ass in the finale. And Kayla needs to make sure that Angela, really specifically Angela, gets out, but either Angela or Alyssa, because Kayla has her trio with Officer Sarah and Justine. But really, it's not a trio. It's a triangle, and Sarah's at the top.
Mind you, Desi was supposed to be in that, but Desi wanted to be with Angela Giesing's alliance so bad. No shit.
Girl. That alliance that did nothing for her at all.
Literally. She was never included in anytime someone talked about being aligned with the Angela alliance, they never mentioned Desi.
I just thought of something.
Right.
Maybe she ate because she put in Enzo, the person who got her out of the game. So her choosing which she chose, low-key was the right move, because she had to get that nigga Enzo out.
Yeah, because they wouldn't quit like this.
So she did. I think technically she did the right move.
Honestly, David, you did exactly what needed to be done. Because
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm never gonna talk shit about you again. You knew she's a psychic, actually.
So Danny gets a segment. I'm so sorry. Why you didn't tell me this stuff? Okay, so Danny gets a segment, and he says that he's playing for his family, Kiki and his daughter.
Shout out to Danny playing for 2 black women.
Shout out to Kiki. She's been here every episode of this season, and they needed her because they had no content. So Kiki and Danny have a FaceTime conversation. We can see Kiki. Kiki is so beautiful.
Your mic's a little weird.
Why is it weird? Hello?
It's better.
What the fuck? Anyways, Kiki and Danny have a conversation. Kiki essentially is talking to him about how you need to get this money, honey. Danny's like, ma'am, yes, ma'am, as per usual. Next. Y'all, this episode just wasn't nothing. We get to the daily. At the daily, it's at night.
And it's at night. It's a nightly.
It's a nightly. So they have a nightly, and the girls are shook, panicking. They're like, why is we at night? They tell them to get in this truck, get in the back of the truck. And the girls are like, in the back of the truck? So they get in the back of the truck. It's dark as hell. I know me, I would have been confused down. But they get in the back of the truck, and they get taken to the ruins of an old war.
It's an abandoned military base.
An abandoned military base. How they have access to that? I don't know. They should have got access to another puzzle.
It seemed dangerous. It wasn't no old bombs there. I mean, I hope the area was cleared. I don't. So
the competition is called Getting Tired, and it's a play on words because they gotta go get the tires. So the goal is
getting tired while getting tired.
Getting tired by getting tired. Goal is you gotta swim across a 500-meter thing. Why do they keep making these people who can't swim? I don't know.
It's like, I think literally most of the challenges are focusing on tiring them out. Like, most of them is like you have to swim this many meters here and then do just to do this. It's like they're focusing more on making them tired and frustrated, and it's like, child.
And all it does is make me tired and frustrated. So
it's really not
I don't
to
care.
watch. Like I feel like they're going more with a more equitable way for these challenges, and it's like it's just not fun to watch. I don't know. A lot of these challenges have not been fun to watch at all.
So they got to swim across the water. On the other side of the water is the abandoned military base. In the base, there's a bunch of tires that are color coded. The tires color coded, like with the highest points, are going to represent the most difficult challenge. So a puzzle or whoop whoop whoop. And then the lower points, they are easier puzzles. So, anyways, they get to the town, and a lot of people start going for the pink tires because the pink tires are worth 20 points or whatever. After the pink tires, the red tires are worth like 10 points. So everybody's going for the 20 point, 10 point, whoop, whoop, whoop. So they start going for them. You see that Tyson is doing really good. You see that as they're trying to get across the pond or whatever the fuck up onto the military base, Kayla ass gets stuck in the motherfucking rope. She can't get up.
Sarah has to literally shove her up the mountain.
Literally. Get her up there. That's important. Note that. But anyways, they get up there, and truly, honestly, y'all, all the girls just start getting the tires. There's not much to say. They start getting the tires that are the higher point, except Alyssa. I didn't like Alyssa's strategy. Alyssa was like, I think I'm gonna get a bunch of 5s, and I'm just gonna get like some of the lower tires so that it's easier for me to get the more tires. And I didn't like that, but everybody else decided to get the higher score tires. So the main part of this challenge was that wrong person. Angela, it might as well be the same person. Angela and Tyson were doing this slider puzzle for worth 20 points. And that's really good because a lot of the tires were worth 5 or 10. So if you get a 20-pointer, then you're going to be ahead.
In the lead, automatically. If you get that, in a quick time.
So they're doing...
If it take you damn near the whole challenge to get it, you ain't doing nothing, mamas.
So they're doing the slider puzzle, and Tyson is good at slider puzzles, but Angela's bad at slider puzzles. So Tyson ends up finishing the slider puzzle early on. He's in the lead. He goes ahead and continues to get his motherfucking tires. So we see as the episode progresses that people keep continuously walking past. Mind you, this tire's at the beginning of the motherfucking entrance of the motherfucking military base. So everyone who comes in can consistently see Angela working on the slider puzzle.
And she said when Tyson was there, like, I don't know if I can finish this, he kept hyping her up. I don't know if pride got in the way or something like that, but it's like, it became very apparent that, girl, you need to let this tire go. Mm-hmm. Because she was just sitting there. I mean, time was ticking down. People are stacking points on top of point, and she is still working on this 20-point thing. And at first it was like, well, it may not matter as long as she get it, but it came to the point where there's only like 30 minutes left for the challenge, and she finally got it. Mm-hmm. Everyone had passed 20 points. Most of the tires are gone.
So at this point, she's like, maybe I can get, because if you don't want to get tires, you can get tokens, and the tokens are worth
1 point, I believe.
Even less than the tires. And it's like, girl, getting a token for what? So she's losing. So she ends up losing, and Officer Sarah is quite happy, naturally. And so are the other girls. What's called the Triangle Girls, Officer Sarah's minions. So everybody's happy because Angela has,
Justine ain't no minion. Please don't. Please see.
Bad bitches can be minions too. Bad bitches can be minions too.
Well, she's not that.
Think of Tylee and May. That's what they are.
They were followers, babe. That was the whole premise.
Justine.
Not a follower.
So Officer Sarah.
Who is she followed?
Officer Sarah.
In what way?
Every way.
How?
Like
give an example.
So Officer Sarah is happy that her arch nemesis Angela lost, and so is Justine, and so is Kayla.
Because they should be. They should also be against Angela and Alyssa. Angela and Alyssa did everything in their power to exclude every other girl from the main power structure.
Angela and Alyssa didn't win the challenge. Sarah won the challenge.
And they're happy that Sarah won. Why can't they be happy that Sarah won?
They can be happy that Sarah won, but Sarah also won the entire game.
Okay, by default, and we're gonna get to that.
So, anyways, Angela here now, let's get into it a little bit because, girl, fuck the episode. Angela, and she's done this. I watched Big Brother 20. That was the season that I was like really, really watching. And you saw there that Angela has a tendency to, if she does not like you, then you are invisible to her.
She just will not speak to you.
You don't exist. Angela went the season not talking to Rockstar, fucking Scotty, Fessy, everybody on the what the fuck side of that? Falte side. Unless you spoke to Angela first, you weren't getting spoken to.
Sometimes, even when you spoke to Angela first, you wasn't getting spoken to.
Sometimes, even if you spoke to Angela, you did not, she didn't hear it. So we see here like kind of that same, what's it called? Negative quality that she has hurt her in this game too, because every time the girls talk about her, they talk about how this bitch does not talk to them. Like literally, they're like, Angela does not talk to us. She doesn't talk to when Kayla, Justine, and that other girl, Officer Sarah, talk about. They're like, she literally does not talk to us. She does not care about us, and she doesn't talk to us, and that's just kind of weird. Anyway, so she loses. She gets last, and Sarah wins. So we know that Sarah is going to be the women winner. We get to the men, and Dominic and Tyson tie. And let's get into this. Dominic is fucking weird, and I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I just don't like hearing like just such a. I understand it's a competition. We're competitive. But Dominic has been obsessed with Tyson all season.
I think all the guys have been because they know.
Not Danny.
Tyson. Oh, definitely not Danny. Because Danny, because I feel like
Danny's a man.
Danny knew when he got to this final, that's all that mattered. Like I think a lot of people were intimidated by Tyson. Was Danny? No,
definitely not. And I don't know. It just. I get it. Tyson's that girl, but like literally when Dominic won, he's like, I just tied with Tyson. I know he's mad. And Tyson has diamond. He's like, I bet this girl is happy that he tied with me. He didn't even beat me. He tied with me, and I bet he's cheering. And it's like he's literally cheering. Like that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like
I mean, when you tied with the main girl,
tied with the main girl.
Hey, he on the leaderboard.
The main girl. God, and it's just embarrassing in my opinion. Embarrassing. And then let's get into it. So Dominic,
my thing is, why do they have them tied? Like in every situation, it's usually the fastest who the other. I'm pretty sure one of them got the points, that point before the other. Like, why couldn't they? Like, that was that was the start of the rules and regulations clearly being off this episode. Because what? What do you mean they tie? I never seen no damn tie in the challenge history. What are you talking about? A tie?
No, literally, somebody had to quit. Between this episode and the previous episode, like it must have been a strike going on or somebody quit because the rules and regulations just was not there during the final. Like
someone didn't know their checks and balances, I fear.
Oh my God. So they tied randomly. So Dominic and Tyson are in the are winners
in the tribunal, basically.
In the tribunal, and so is Sarah. And so in this situation, you kind of already instantly know that Officer Sarah is going to want Angela in. Tyson's not going to want Angela in. So
but this is just so weird too because I feel like it's the fact that it's a vote. You know what I mean? And now it's like as long as you get 2 on 1, it's like why would they switch it up? Like
they set Angela up too.
Yeah, this was a pretty important...
Was this an Angela setup episode? Because this set up Angela.
Because now that I think about it, because it's like, literally, if it was just Sarah and Tyson would have never thrown in Alyssa. And even if Sarah did, then it would have to come to whatever happens when they don't agree. We never find out what happens if they don't agree. And we never did. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, why would this random tie happen on one of the most important eliminations?
And then later in the episode, the way that Angela is disqualified is kind of like, was this a setup? Because why wasn't she privy to the rule? It's giving Angela was set up.
They wanted her out. Okay, she probably really wanted to sue.
They probably I hate to call it out. It's giving they wanted Officer Sarah to win.
Ooh.
And who won? So for some reason, 3 people were in the tribunal. One of them was Dominic. One of them was Angela. One of them was Officer Sarah, and one of them was Tyson. So they all talked. And their discussion is basically Tyson.
They talk with Angela at first too.
They talk with Angela,
and then this conversation is funny because Angela's basically like, they ask her like, "Who do you want?" Right? And she's like, "Okay, I think y'all know I do not want to go against Alyssa. I would love to go against strong competitors in the final, and I feel like she is that. People like Kayla, people like
And Sarah was like, "Wait, you
yeah,
mean?"
Sarah gagged up real quick. She was like, I mean, if we're talking about weakest, Alyssa did the worst, and Angela quickly cut her off and said, no. Overall, Alyssa has been doing great.
And Sarah said, "Well, but this is the challenge that's most like the final,"
which Dominic quickly agreed with. So it's like,
and then Tyson jumped in, and Tyson was like, But Kayla wouldn't even have made it to the challenge without you.
And then Sarah went mute because that's exactly what happened. And it's funny because I really respect Angela for this, because I'm the type of person where it's like, if I'm not wasting my breath, okay? And Angela quickly realized after this quick interaction, she was like, okay, I'm wasting my time. Y'all know who I don't want. Clearly, my opinion doesn't matter. So she gets up and walk away. And then Sarah has a confession where she's like, really, Angela? You're just gonna leave? This is why you don't get your way, because you don't sit and you don't. And it's like, I hate people like Sarah, because it's like, Sarah, you know damn well whatever came out of Angela's mouth, you was not doing. Angela went in that room and said, you know what? I want to go against Alyssa. Alyssa would not be going in just for that. Like, no. Like, Sarah quickly would have disagreed with anything this woman said. Like, stop acting like she really had any input, because she didn't.
I agree, but Angela just has a consistent, like, that mentality.
Nonchalant. Yeah,
like, it's like, I don't care anymore. And Rachel, you're as irrelevant as you were on week 3, and now I'm not friends with this person. It's like, girl, like,
yeah,
do something.
I can see that consistent personality, them being like, just another thing we do not like about you. Like, why are you doing this?
You're annoying. But also, Officer Sarah just was lying for no reason. So after this, then this is when Dom, Tyson, and Sarah talk, and Sarah's basically like, well, Tyson, who do you want to go in? And Tyson was like, Kayla. And Sarah was like, well, I'm not putting in Kayla. She's not an option. And Dom was like, well, and Alyssa's not an option. So what now? And Sarah was like, well, I guess we're going to go tit or tat. And it's going to be up to Dominic. And when they found out it was up to Dominic, Officer Sarah said, oh, I'm just going to run him. Now, why Dominic doesn't have his own opinion is behooved to me. Because why is Dominic's initial diary room like, I get to choose out of whether what Sarah wants or what Tyson wants. Whichever master I choose is who's going to win. And it's like, sir, how about you choose yourself?
Like, do you want someone else to go in? I mean, Justine could have went in. I mean,
I know, like, you make a choice. You make a decision. But instead, instead of deciding who goes in, he's deciding who he's going to side with. And it's like, sir, like, play the game.
Like, I will say to defend him just a bit, him and Sarah have had a good relationship throughout the season. Like, they've mentioned that earlier on. Like, he's had, like, ever since that's the thing. Angela and Alyssa created this alliance, and most of the Survivor Men went with it because they knew about the safety, but they were never really down with it. And then, Dominic, he even says, like, the reason why Alyssa's the one going in is because Alyssa really didn't speak to him. Like, yeah, they're in an alliance, but he had a better relationship with every other girl in that compound than Alyssa. So it's like, I do feel like that helps him as well. Plus, he's low-key jealous of Tyson, and Tyson wanted one thing. It was what Sarah does. Sarah pushes the fact that, Tyson and Angela have been running this game. And a lot of people do not like that Tyson and Angela have been running this game. So I do think it was a pretty easy sell.
Lee, I just love when you talk on these podcasts. You really just wrap everything up in a bow. And so it's like a gift.
This is sarcastic.
I'm dead ass.
Or a butt is coming. What's the butt?
I'm dead ass. I'm so serious. No, I'm dead ass. And so Dominic decides that he's gonna go with Sarah, and he's gonna put in Alyssa over Kayla, mostly because, like Lee said, Alyssa had no relationship with him, and boop. And so they get to arena. Boom. Angela's down there.
We have to talk about the happy birthday FaceTime from Tyler. All my Big Brother fans out there, y'all know who Tyler is. Can we just say, Tyler looks like he's aging 5 years a day. Like, he looks like, ooh, child. It's cracking. It's cracking. That man, like, he's about 40. Like, ooh. Mind you, I don't know. I just feel like, why were they in tears? Like, I don't know. There's such an odd couple. Something about Angela and Tyler being together is just something's always off with me.
I've always had like such a polarizing feeling about that, and it's not even been on one side. It's been like something about me is drawn to Tyler and Angela. Like something about them gives like a slight hit of it factor, like slight icon. And then at the same time it gets cringe. Like, why do y'all even...
I hope there's no Tangela fans watching, because you know Tangela fans. They
fuck the Tangela fans. The Tangela fans was telling Bailey that they're glad that her child was passed away and all of this other shit. Like, fuck Tangela fans. And you know what?
Swaley gang.
But
shout out to Bailey and her baby.
Her and her man. Her, Miss Williams.
Mm-hmm. Child, they in Puerto Rico right now with no house flooded. Child,
they in Puerto Rico.
It's a whole hurricane over there. Pray for Swaley, child.
I know that's right. So, girl, Alyssa and Tyler have their little chit chat. They start crying. Why are y'all crying? You know, I'm not finna get in. I'm not finna get in.
I feel bad because I feel like when I see the crying, I'm like, how are they crying? But I feel like, well, maybe some people miss their people. You know what I mean?
But the way and listen,
but it's given they haven't seen each other in 3 months. Like, babe, it's been a day.
And listen, excuse me. I
didn't say bless you, but excuse you came out.
No, because literally you confused me. I was like, damn, what am I supposed to...
Bless me.
Y'all, we are not high. Well, I'm not high. I'm
not yet.
I'm also not drunk. Okay, anyways. Yeah, why the fuck are they crying? Like, I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. Babe, it was a 6-week event. And then, what kills me is that when Tyler had got on Big Brother, no shade. No, fuck Tyler on Big Brother, because the way he was acting that season was crazy anyway. Tyler got on Big Brother crying every day. Please evict me. Oh my God, I just love BLM. Evict me before jury. So
I miss Angela. I miss Angela so much.
I miss Angela so much. I just wanna... Sir.
If you don't go on that show and promote this goddamn cooking
this goddamn book and get us some fucking... He win the game. He was supposed to be focused on... Angela said, take your ass and get us that fucking money. Because you lost the first time.
Not gonna get it again.
Not gonna get it now. Go do your job.
It's funny because Angela said, child, I'm gonna get my damn self. Let me get my 500,000.
Literally.
Because clearly you can't get it, nigga.
No, because Angela was like, Swaggy got Bailey her $1 million.
Ooh.
Where are you? Girl, we move. So we get to the arena, and at the arena, Angela has lost, so she's already in, and then we get to the vote. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, who are you voting? Dominic puts in Alyssa, and Alyssa gets mad, and she rolls her eyes.
And it's like, I hate to say it, Alyssa, babe, but maybe you wouldn't be in this position if you wasn't getting all your allies, sister.
Babe, I don't know what you was, babe, because Alyssa, babe. The people who are... Dominic could have went the week that you got out, Xavier.
Or Tyson. So, I mean, somebody. Like this whole final could have been all Big Brother, like, for real.
It could have been Kylan and Xavier instead.
And they wouldn't throw your ass in.
And they wouldn't have threw you in. Would have been Kayla.
With ease, actually.
With ease. I will say Alyssa tried to have a conversation with Dominic, but Dominic had a diary. He's like, why is she talking to me now?
Right.
Where you been? Hello?
My thing is, Alyssa from what we've heard, Alyssa been bopping all over the compound. She ain't talked to Dominic?
Right. Girl. So anyways, we get to the motherfucking challenge.
This is really big egg on Angela and Alyssa's face, though, because they have been living luxury these last few episodes. Like, it was giving Treehouse. Like, it was like, it really, like, it's sad. It's real nasty the way they got them this episode. I mean, and then they gotta do pole wrestle. Ciao.
So the competition, like Lee said, is pole wrestle. If you don't know what pole wrestle is, then...
the pole. And you gotta wrestle for it.
I know, that's right. So, immediately it gives, girl, Alyssa, you finna get slung.
Yeah.
And I think Alyssa, when she heard it was pole wrestle, she had a diary and she was like, yeah, it's pole wrestle. I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna do what I can.
Because she knew. Because she really knew. And then when they grabbed it, you could tell, like, her grip on it, and she even mentions this too, but, like, you could tell she was not holding it for real. Like the way they started, and Angela both times just flung Alyssa over her. And I will give it to to Alyssa. Because Alyssa got her ass slung and she held on to it.
She held on.
Literally all Angela had to do, I think both rounds, was stand up and yank it from her.
And stand up with the pole in her hand.
Like, it's so funny because the second time she did it, she literally is yanking Alyssa's whole body with the pole. And Alyssa was holding on for dear life.
Oh, God. So, Alyssa flopped. I don't know what a strategy is for, like, a lighter person in that scenario.
You gotta just be scrappy. I think you just gotta be scrappy. You have to get it up under you, hold on, scrap, keep rolling, keep moving. Like, you gotta be as scrappy as possible because you gotta make the other person lose grip. And I don't know.
She should have been moving around a little bit more, but she was getting flung around.
And this was real sad because they were like sisters, I guess. They really developed a strong bond. Even Angela, she has a diary room. She's like, I really just want this to go as quickly as possible because I know what's happening. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, that's good.
Not you got worried. Thought I was falling out. You know that shit with your face. Okay, but
yeah, I know what was happening.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, it was so sad. Angela was like, I gotta get this done quickly for my sister because I don't want to embarrass her on national TV, basically. So she yanked it out of her hand in about 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy. And Danny is so funny for this. He was like, the ice is cracking. Angela is crying. And it's like, it's really funny because Angela only cried about Tyler. So to see her cry about someone else, it was really like, oh my God, she is human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is she? And then they are really close because Alyssa in her thing, she was like, honestly, I just feel like Angela's experience on Big Brother was just, it wasn't.
She was overlooked.
She was overlooked on Big Brother. So I love that she has this experience so that she can really shine. And I just wanted to show that I'm a strategic queen, and I think I showed that. And you didn't.
Unfortunately, Angela lost, and you did not show that. So
I'm so sorry.
Neither next year.
Yeah, maybe next time. Good luck. Good luck. So oh, okay. This is where TJ was like, all right, y'all, we're at the final. I wasn't sure that any of you guys could make it to a final. And that's hilarious because they didn't make it through the final. And it was foreshadowing, so I wrote it down because that was funny.
Oh, wait, put the pictures up. Put the pictures to see the girls in the final.
Yeah. This is really everybody. Oh.
Why are you echoing?
Because I didn't have it muted. Okay, it's okay.
Ooh, do better, okay.
Y'all, it's ghetto over here. I'm so sorry. It's giving bad bitch. Okay, so Alyssa's out. So it was the 5 girls and then the 5 boys. And during the challenge, Benethan done broke his arm. What's it called? His During the challenge, Ben fell and broke the fuck out of his arm, which is crazy because I didn't think it was going to be relevant to the situation. I'm like, why are they showing this? But we find out that it's relevant. So we get to the motherfucking the final. I'm so sorry, y'all. It gave nothing. We get to the final, and essentially, they're going to be in teams during the first couple of legs of the final, which means you're going to be paired up with a man, and the woman's going to be paired up with a woman. It's going to be a man and a woman, and they're going to run the leg together. And the first team who completes that leg gets 5 points. Then the second team gets 4 points. Third team
None of these points matter.
And Ben can't play, so they're like, "Oh,
I would like to feel like the points did matter, and they just stopped." Now I think about it, what would they matter for?
That's how you determine the winner.
The person with the most points at the end. So even if you got up to the hill first,
the person who got to the hill first got 5 points. So
let's say you've been getting last every single leg, but you make it up the hill first,
you don't win the game.
Well, that would have been stupid.
Unless you're the only person who makes it to the hill. So the hill, once you made it to the hill, you got your 5 points, which means, let's say Danny made it to the hill first. He got his 5 points, but all Tyson needed was 4 points to still be ahead of Danny. If Tyson made it up the hill second, he would have won the game.
That's dumb as hell. Can we just go back? I'm sorry. Not only watch the Challenge All Stars 3, not only watch Challenge USA. Fuck these equitable ass competitions. Stop the point system. Stop all these puzzles. I think a puzzle is cute every once in a while, but these consistent hard ass puzzles and things like that, I don't know. I'm tired of this shit. Just make them do things. Like all of this, like, oh, you get a point here and you get money here, and it's just like it's a lot. Like this ain't even the challenge anymore. It's a Survivor. Like I feel like I'm watching a totally different show.
Girl, this is the fire tokens, child. So, we get into the motherfucking legs. They have to play in teams, but since Ben can't play, one of the women won't have a team each round. They're gonna randomize the teams each round. So, boom, for leg one, they randomize it, and Danny and Kayla are a team. Dominic and Angela are a team. Tyson and Justine are a team. Enzo and Desi are a team, and Sarah is alone. For this challenge, you're gonna be dropped 500 meters into the motherfucking water, and then from there, you have to swim all the way back to shore, 500 meters. And once you get back to shore, you have
How
to
far is meters? How far is 500 meters? Is that like
a meter is 3 feet? Hold on.
It sounds far as fuck, so let's just go with that.
Girl, I'm gonna Google it. There ain't nothing else to talk about. Okay. Girl, never mind. I'm confused.
See, anyway.
Anyways, you gotta swim it, so that's a lot. And then you gotta solve a puzzle. But my thing is, that's what you have to do every challenge. So they have to swim,
and I think that's what's making it weird. It's like, and I feel like in the old challenge platform, they get on the beach. If anything, they solve the puzzle and just keep going. Like you just keep going, like just keep it going.
Now it's like an actual race instead of a
point system.
Yeah,
switch it up. Point system, switch it up. Oh, especially Challenge All Stars 3. 2 of y'all are not even in the final no more. You're getting cut because of this random twist. It's like, okay, like,
girl. So, Tyson and Justine get back first. Because they are the bad bitches here. Really, they've been winning a lot of the stuff. They get back first, and then Angela and Dominic get back second. But they still got to solve the puzzle. Angela can't do slider puzzles, so she lets
as we saw earlier.
So she lets Dominic do the puzzle, but Dominic not that girl either. Sarah gets back third, and it's like that's iconic because she alone. But what does a partner really do when you're swimming? Anyways. And then Danny and Kayla get back. So that means Enzo and Desi are still in the water struggling.
And as we know, Enzo can't swim. But here's what pisses me off with Enzo. First of all, you ruined the Black Queen's game for no reason at all.
One.
Because from what I saw, yeah, it was far, but nigga, you could have got it together. Like, come on now. And then what doesn't make sense to me, right, is that we're watching them. The camera is on them. And out of nowhere, he's not in the water at all. Like, I mean, under the water. He randomly starts saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Help.
Look at my camera. Look at my camera. All of this was above water. Literally. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. If someone's drowning, you would think, I can't breathe.
Because he has a life vest on.
But he's literally floating above water. Doggy paddling. Buoyant as fuck. Doggy paddling to the raft. And it's so sad. And Cheryl mentioned this, like, it's such a sad moment. Because that's just like, Enzo, no.
As Enzo is getting in the raft to get saved. Please, Enzo. No, please, Enzo. Please.
We don't have time. It's
please, Enzo. Like, we can still. Enzo, please. And it's so sad.
Enzo, I quit,
my girl is literally like begging because if he quits, Desi is out. And it's like, damn. When Sarah was allowed to just go on shore by herself. Why are they teamed up?
It doesn't make any sense, especially because, like, okay, if Enzo leaves, just put her with Sarah, or like it could be
just put her with Sarah. We don't need teams. If Sarah didn't need a team, these aren't team required challenges because Sarah didn't even have a teammate.
And it's like that's the thing.
And later on, it becomes solo, anyways. So
it really doesn't make any sense because, like, in that situation, Sarah had an advantage because she had no person to potentially quit. If anyone else, that means if anyone had Enzo in the situation,
whoever had shuffled to Enzo, they would have been out of the game. Period. And that's just stupid.
Mind you, this is the first part of the final. This is literally the first thing they have to do, and Enzo is already quitting.
And I understand if your teammate quits, you're out. If you've been if you're teammates for the entire season, if the twist is rivals or exes or besties, I get it. That's who you're linked to the entire season. But even then, they bring somebody else back in.
Mm-hmm.
So shit.
like the thing, especially I think, like you said, especially because they go solo at the end. It's just like it's so unnecessary, especially with like it's already an uneven number. You could easily just pair her with someone else. Like it's not like there's not someone she can run it with. It was just stupid. I just think the decision was stupid. The second dumb decision of the episode, but we moved.
And now it's gonna just get crazy. So Enzo is out and Desi's out, and Desi starts crying, rightfully so, because she was here to win this money, and all this man had to do was literally
swim to the beach, and that was the only swimming part. Like
that was the only swimming part, and I mean, you didn't have
Enzo,
to.
He probably would have quit on something else too. That's the real gag, but it's just like.
But it wouldn't have been with Desi.
It sucks. It really sucks for Desi though. It really does because, like I said, this is the first part. They even get to the first puzzle. They're literally dropped in the water for the first part, so she didn't get a chance to compete in it. Everybody named Mama DQ'd and quit. Desi didn't get a chance to play.
And I bet she feels really bad because she's probably like, damn, I wouldn't have DQ'd. I wouldn't have quit. I wouldn't have stopped digging the sand. I would have did the solo. Like Desi could have won this game, but just because Enzo can't swim, I lost. Bullshit.
Very dumb.
So after this, we get the points, but they don't even matter, so I'm not going to read them. Boom. We get to the second leg. Danny and Angela are now a pair, and that's a strong pair. Tyson and Sarah are paired up. Shit, that's a strong pair too. Dominic and Justine are paired up, and Kayla's alone. So they have to run they have two stages of this leg. So the first leg is they have to eat all this food, which is onions. So it's going to be onions and garlic. So they pull up, and it's an onion. It's a big ass onion, and it's garlic, and they have a lemon juice or something. Mm-hmm. And they have to finish eating it. And honestly, seeing it, it's kind of like, oh, just eat the onion.
This seems pretty easy. But I can definitely see how it got really, really hard. Like, Kayla, she was the last person to complete this. And she was basically saying her mouth was burning. Like, her nose and everything was just burning because the onion, I guess, was too spicy for her Caucasian taste buds. But it's just like that was it did seem pretty brutal. Like I don't think I'd be able to eat a whole onion with garlic. I don't. Like that's like like I definitely would have threw up my damn self.
Right. Me too. I have written down Angela is a vegan chef because Angela says she's a vegan chef.
She is. That's what that cookbook is for. Because Tyler is vegan and she is too.
Is she? Okay. I didn't know, and honestly, I didn't know about the cookbook till Lee. You said it like however long ago. Because I didn't care. Okay.
Okay.
I've written down not everybody throwing up. Everybody was throwing up, child. I've written down Danny and Angela finished first. The second part of the motherfucking this part is like an equation. They have to run and see a barrel. The barrel's gonna have a number on it. Let's say the number's 3. They have to run to the next barrel. That next barrel is gonna say times 4. So then you have to do 3 times 4. Okay, that's 12. The next barrel is gonna say divided by 3. You're gonna okay, 12 divided by 3. And then the next barrel, and so you do all of that until you reach the end, and then that number that you have is going to be the number that you submit to see if you made it or whatever. So extra. So Sarah and Tyson finished, so they're all running to do their barrels. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm bored. Dominic and Justine are done. I said, why is Dominic burping and shitting the whole way? He's literally like every step he takes farting, and the next day he burps after that. Crazy. I said, child, not Kayla finna give up because Kayla was struggling.
Yeah, it looked really bad. The way they zoomed in on her, like, I thought it was over.
Child, boom. So Angela and Danny win that leg, and then Sarah and Tyson get second, then Dominic and Justine get third, and Kayla gets last. But at this point, Kayla's not in last place because Justine flopped. Her average of points has been lower, so it's because of the points. Justine's in last place, and Dominic's in last place for the boys, and we move along. Blah, 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 blah. Leg 3.
That shit matter because they all quit.
Leg 3, and this is where they quit. No, this is where Angela quits. No, this is where Angela gets DQ. So
no, this is just when Justine times out. They have to do they have to get these ship wheels and solve okay.
So you have numbers that you have to remember. So it's 10 numbers that you have to remember, and those numbers are going to correlate to a letter once you make it all the way up the hill or whatever the fuck. And it's kind of unfair because Justine has to remember all 10 of her numbers, and every other pair
it's so stupid.
only has to remember
this
5.
whole thing is just so stupid. So it's Dom and Kayla, Angela and Tyson, Sarah and Danny, and they all get and they complete their things. I believe Angela and Tyson are first, and then it's Sarah and Danny, and then Dom and Kayla come in, and then Justine ends eventually times out.
Because she can't remember all 10 of her numbers because nobody else. Whichever woman got randomized,
they end up being the last in that round.
They're last in that round, except Sarah. Sarah ate that up. But
well, only because Enzo DQ.
So yeah, now it's nighttime, and this is like the nighttime overnight part of the leg, part of the race. So in this leg, the pairs are Danny and Justine, Tyson and Kayla, Dominic and Sarah, and then Angela's by herself. So for this one, your goal is to overnight move all of the sand from this one location to your designated location. So they have to take turns shoveling it, and that's like, well, I guess they don't have to, but anyways, intentionally, you're supposed to take turns shoveling it. So like,
and the twist for this one is like, for example, if one player is going, the other partner can rest. So once again, if you don't have a pair, you're screwed. Justine had to run all these points by herself. I mean, I guess Kayla didn't affect her too much because she was an eating competition. She only had to eat one. But even Sarah, it's like Sarah didn't have that disadvantage of a partner potentially quitting on her. So I do think in this situation, it was kind of unfair to Angela because it's like she had less sand, but she's still doing all of the work.
Everything, yeah. So, Sarah, I mean, that girl. Angela essentially, she looks at it and she's like, I'm just going to lose the leg. Like, I'm going to lose it because I don't have time to rest. While Homeboy's going, the girl can rest. Justine can rest while Danny's going. So Angela doesn't have that rest time for her to even get the same score as anybody else. So she's not going to get the same score as anybody else. She's going to lose. So she's going to be in last. So since she's going to be in last, she decides, I'm just going to rest all night. So that way, tomorrow, when we have our next leg, I can be able to actually win this game and get first in the next leg. When she said it, I was like, oh, that's smart. I feel like that could give her an advantage and she could win the next leg. But I'm stupid.
It was not smart.
It was not smart. So essentially, they move all the dirt. I believe Dominic and Sarah get done first, then Tyson and Kayla, then Danny and Justine. And they go to sleep. So they wake up the next morning. TJ comes in and he lines.
And Angela is well rested.
Angela's she's happy, cheesing, feeling good. And so, mind you, as she was sleeping, all of the people were like complaining. Like Kayla was like, "Wow, you get to just sit there and go to sleep while I have to do this." And Desi was like, Justine was like, "Damn, she just." And it's giving like,
Sarah was hot. Because Sarah does not like that girl.
And it's like, I get it, y'all mad, but I mean, she's kind of just choosing to lose this leg. I mean, technically,
So basically, the next morning, TJ, asked her to explain her reasoning. She basically said, I was taking the strategic approach because she's from Big Brother. So she's like, I just thought I'm gonna go ahead and rest because I'm clearly not gonna be able to be as rested to run up this damn mountain. Like that's literally all this challenge is. And TJ was like, you're out. And she's like,
no, sweetie.
Okay. And I feel like, this is how I feel about it. I do feel like she did quit. Like that is a form of quitting. Like she did not shovel damn near any of the goddamn dirt. Which at least from what I can tell from the rules is you do have to shovel the dirt. Even if you can't get it, it's like you have to at least be doing it for it to be a timeout. You know what I mean? So the fact that she didn't do it at all, I can see why it's a quit. But at the same time,
clearly that wasn't clear.
Tell her that, like, why did
she lay down? The person who was holding the camera could have been like, "Oh, by the way, you can't do that." But why wasn't that clear for her?
Like, why feel like it was a decision that the producers made while she was sleeping? Like, I feel like they themselves were like, "Can she do this?" And they decided, "No, she can't. She gotta go."
But that's just bullshit. Because
honestly, I can see. Like Sarah, Kayla, and them being like, "This isn't fair. Why does she get to do that?" And then being like, "Oh, I guess we do gotta DQ her because this is
bullshit though." Because why wouldn't you tell her? Why would you let her go to sleep not knowing that? Like that just didn't make any sense.
If she knew that, she wouldn't have went to sleep. Like she
literally wouldn't. That's what she said. That's what she said when she left. She was like sad because she's like, "I'm not a quitter. Like the intention was a strategic intention. I genuinely was like, oh okay." And I can opt out of doing this so that I can just get 1 point, which will let me get 5 points in the next challenge because I'm strategically deciding when to allocate my points. I'm not giving up the challenge. I just want to allocate my points. If y'all would have told her, no, girl, you got to shovel, then she would have shoveled. But my thing is, she already had to shovel alone, which is fucked up in the first place. Like, y'all was already fucking her up. Like, I don't know. It was just dumb. First of all, why is she alone?
Shovel all that dirt
it was just stupid.
There's no way she would be able to get up that mountain for real. Like,
she would have been the last person to go to sleep. She would have had to do it continuously the whole night until she was done. She would have had no break because no one else.
She would have been exhausted,
and she would have got last. She would have got last anyways. So it just wouldn't have made sense for her to do it. I just feel like they did not think out the one person alone situation. Like, that's just dumb as fuck. They really should have just not had one of the women be alone. But we moved. Or they should just let Desi stay. Hello. But anyways, we fucking moved.
Literally.
So Angela gets DQ'd, and it's like,
which I feel like that's another thing that is stupid that they didn't just pair Desi with one of the other women, because that specific challenge needs two people. Like, the eating challenge really didn't. I mean, the wheelbarrow challenge did too. The one that Justine got timed out on, because she had to remember all those numbers herself. Like, it's like you if you have challenges that require a pair, why are you making some running on alone anyway? Like, that's dumb. Like, modifying it a little bit don't help. But even with the little ship wheel thing, the reason why she timed out is because Justine had to remember all 10 numbers by herself. Like,
I don't know. It just was stupid from the beginning. Since when Ben couldn't play, it was already dumb, because they knew the challenges they had required a teammate. So why would you allow one
They
girl?
Immediately should have just been like, okay, well, it needs to be individual. I think it should have been. It really should have been.
There was no need. There was no need for teams from the start. Literally, we just watched the challenge. That other show, and they didn't need teams either, because
they did do pairs.
They did it. Remember? They did it. But it wasn't necessary either, because when they did the eating challenge, they were in singles. This eating challenge was in pairs. So it's like,
yeah, the challenge love a good pair, child.
But for what? Anyways, and then why, when your pair quit, you're out. But we moved. It should have just been singles. It's the fucking final. But after this, Angela's now out randomly. So it's wet. It's raining. They're wet and it's raining, and now they're going solo from now on. And it's like, they should have just been solo. Like, what was the point of eating being a team challenge? What was the point of swimming being a team challenge, but only for everybody but Sarah? Eating only from everybody but Kayla? Like, it wasn't even the team challenge, because one person was doing it solo every single time anyways. Fucking stupid bitches. Anyways, so they have to run 10 miles up a mountain and finish challenges at a checkpoint, at checkpoints on that 10-mile hike. And it's like, 10 miles. And I was trying to conceptualize what 10 miles is. I can run a mile in 10 minutes. But every time I run a mile after that, it's going to take longer and longer for me to run that mile. So 10 miles essentially is 100 minutes plus some extra. 100 minutes plus some extra is 2 hours. So
plus some checkpoints in between.
And checkpoints, and I'm going to be tired. That's like 3.5 hours that I have to trek up a mountain in the cold. It's literally snowing. Yeah, I would have lost. So we start off. They're cold already, and it's raining, and they're wet already. Like, they want them to get literally sick. Boom. I immediately thought, none of these CBS girlies can finish this. You think these CBS girlies can climb a
Actually, mountain? I really don't even think of that. And we're gonna get to it with that how you say it? Sudoku? Like, I feel like that really is what fucked them up, because if that was an easier puzzle, then they would have finished.
They probably would have finished it. So we get to, they run, and they're running to the first checkpoint, and it's a puzzle. So Tyson gets there first. It's a hexagon puzzle. You just have to put the puzzle pieces in there. They're kind of awkwardly shaped, so it's hard. Tyson gets there first, then Dominic arrives, and Tyson finishes his puzzle before anybody else comes. So Tyson finishes really fast. He leaves. Then Danny comes, and Danny finishes before Dom, but then Dominic finishes. Then Sarah and Justine arrive. And now that Sarah's here, she got here first of all. No, Kayla got here. But Sarah got here second of all the girls. But
and she stayed there.
She stayed there forever. Kayla ends up finishing, Justine's end up finishing, and Sarah's still there at that hexagon puzzle, and everybody else
just
is
know that
on.
she stays there into
she stays there forever. So if you were like, "Where's Sarah?" She's at the puzzle.
She's at that puzzle.
So we move along. Everybody else is going on towards the next challenge, and Tyson is basically like, "I know nobody's gonna catch me, so I don't even gotta go that fast. You know, like even if somebody finished right after me, I can still, you know, I'm that it girl, so." So Tyson is chilling, and then it starts snowing. And Tyson like, "Not it's snowing."
Mm-hmm.
And Dominic like, "Not it's snowing." And so Tyson makes it to the checkpoint, and this checkpoint is already the Sudoku checkpoint. And he is at the Sudoku puzzle, and he sees that it's Sudoku. He's like, "Damn, not Sudoku." So he's trying to figure it out. At this point, Justine catches up to Dominic. So Justine's like, "Damn, if I'm caught up to Dominic, that means I could actually win this thing. Like, I'm doing really, really good. I could win this thing." So Danny gets to the Sudoku puzzle next, and he's essentially like, "I used to solve Sudoku before I got on Survivor. I sat there and I solved Sudoku puzzles. I did all the ones, easy all the way to hard. So I'm good." Which is great for him. So Sarah is still at the puzzle, first puzzle. And now we're at the Sudoku fucking shit. So at the Sudoku shit, Justine and Dominic get there, and before they get there, Danny's already complete, and he's going on to finishing his whole entire hike. So Danny's doing the rest of the hike, while right now Tyson, Dominic, and Justine are at the puzzle, the Sudoku.
And
puzzle.
Essentially, they even mentioned like none of them know how to play Sudoku. And like, I've never even played Sudoku before in my life. And like from what we can see on the rules, it's not like they were explaining them the rules of Sudoku. So if you didn't know how to play it, like Danny mentions, he used to play this all the time. Justine is even crying in her diary because she's like, "I've never played this before in my life." And I just think this is what this challenge is really weird. And a lot of people were like kind of getting on the CBS girls because it's like, "Oh, y'all really lost to the Sudoku," and it's like I feel like first. That is a very specific puzzle. Like if you've never played it before, you're not gonna. I have no idea how to play. If I was in this and I got to that puzzle, I would have timed out or had to quit too. Because basically, and this is something that Tyson reveals in the interview, they told them you cannot time out. You have to keep going until you figure it out. So you're out there freezing, doing this puzzle that you don't even know how to do. And a lot of people were like, "Well, you know, the MTV girls, they've been through way worse conditions." I can agree. I've seen the MTV girls in way worse, harder challenges, but it was never, first of all, there's way less challenges. There's way less puzzles in a lot of MTV versions. That's one. And two, we've never seen something so specific. Like to play Sudoku, you need to know how to play Sudoku. Yeah. So it's just like, honestly, I think it was a very unfair situation. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that 4 of them quitting at that puzzle is just them being weak. I just think that's clearly a stupid ass puzzle.
Yeah, as a nigga who knows how to play Sudoku, you cannot just put Sudoku. And essentially, I was telling Lee this earlier. Essentially, they placed the Sudoku there like it was a slider puzzle or it was a hexagon puzzle. Something that, oh, these are the pieces. Let's just put them in order. Like, no, that's not what Sudoku is. You literally need to know the rules of Sudoku. And the instructions that it read was essentially, solve this numerical puzzle, and then you can move on to the next.
And repeat the pattern, something like that.
And complete the pattern. That's you need to know the rules of Sudoku. If someone goes up to a Sudoku puzzle and doesn't know the rules, it's just a bunch of numbers on the fucking board.
Exactly. And someone like me, who is scared of numbers, literally terrified, I would have passed out.
Literally. I know me, I probably would have got second in this challenge because Danny definitely would have beat me up that mountain. But hey.
So mind you, Tyson, Dominic, and Justine, they quitting, and Sarah's still at the hexagon puzzle. Just so you know. She's still at the first puzzle.
Literally. So they've quit. All 4 of them. And Sarah's at the hexagon puzzle. Danny has completed the entire thing, and Danny has won. Congratulations. So now we see Sarah. We do not
see her finish the hexagon puzzle.
Complete the hexagon puzzle.
So here's my theory. And then Tyson throws out in one of his interviews, he says, from what I've heard, Sarah didn't complete that puzzle, which means I can definitely see them being like, well, the rest of the girls quit, so you can just go.
Which is unfair because they quit because they passed her up and they were at a whole different stage of the challenge. So they didn't quit because, oh, we just can't bear it and da da da. They quit because they were at the Sudoku puzzle for hours and they were not allowed to
Freezing.
time out, freezing, and they weren't allowed to time out. So it's like, what do? And I do feel like that it's possible that because everyone quit, they needed a winner, so they let Sarah go ahead and win, and they let her time out on the original puzzle. And I feel like that's just not fair at all. I just feel like you should have been able to time out. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like
that's the thing. Like it's like there's no way you have them standing out there in the freezing cold and they can't time out. There's always a timeout. And the thing is, if there's a timeout, if there's no timeout in Sudoku, why is there one at the hexagon puzzle for Sarah? If that's the case, Danny should have been the only winner.
Literally,
because she could not figure that puzzle out. And the thing is, there's a reason why they didn't show her finished puzzle. Like, why wouldn't you show us their finished puzzle?
And that's just fucked up. Like, and if I was Sarah, I wouldn't even feel good about the win. Like, I wouldn't even tweet about it. I wouldn't even talk about it because it's like, girl, I just won by default.
Now, when she gets to Sudoku, she do finish it, and they show her board. We don't know if she had help. We don't know if she was looking at other things. I mean, the fact that they showed that one makes me feel confident that maybe she just did complete it. If that's the case, it's like, well, at least she completed the goddamn Sudoku. But it's just like, was she?
But you didn't complete. You didn't even complete the first one. It's just. I don't know.
And the thing is, like, of course, that's the thing. If she knew how to play it, well, of course she could finish it and not the first one because she knew how to play the game.
I just feel like it's an easy fix. All they had to do was explain Sudoku. Tyson said in his interview, he asked and they didn't explain to him that they just didn't want to explain the rules. They just gave the rules that was shown on the TV and they was like, solve it.
Which was the most basic rule. I wouldn't have understood that.
Which is not rules, because to explain Sudoku, you have to let people know the fact that each row, each column, and each square has to contain each number 1 through 9. Like, that's kind of a specific, very specific rule set for you to have to explain, and you just didn't explain it. I don't know. It's weird. But that was dumb as fuck. So literally everyone DQ'd but Danny. And
honestly, shout out to motherfucking Danny, because he was really the VIP. When I tell you he completed every puzzle, every leg successfully, that's a man right there. Kiki got her a man.
Shout out to Danny. Danny's the type of person, though, even from the beginning, Danny's the type of person I would see on the actual challenge, like the MTV challenge, especially compared to these other flops on this. Now I'm looking at the board.
Yeah, I will say, regardless, I don't think they can keep up with the MTV girls like that. Maybe Angela.
I was just gonna say, I think Angela could have did good. That's the thing. I felt like when I found out Sarah won, I thought maybe Sarah ate up the finale, the final challenge, because I haven't seen it. She literally
was last.
She flopped, and she didn't do good in none of these dailies either. She won one daily. And that was it. Like,
but literally, if you change Sudoku to, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I can't say it right for my life. If you change that to something else,
literally anything else, a math problem, they could have put a long math problem on the board. They've done that in the real MTV.
But if they change that, Sarah 1,000% loses. Like, she does not win. Oh, we could have had Danny and Justine.
It would have been Justine. It literally probably would have been Justine.
I would have been Danny and Justine. You know, and it sucks because, like, I don't give a fuck about anybody else, but I really hope, like, if they continue to do the Challenge USA, Justine is able to come back, because y'all know TJ hate quitters, but this is different, okay? Like I said, I think the fact that 4 of them quit at that round just shows something was wrong with the challenge. Like, something was clearly wrong with the challenge. Like, this does not happen. Like, this is no coincidence. Like, if 1 or 2 of them had quit, it would have been a different story. But 4 of them, like, be serious. And it wasn't like no Enzo thing, no water shit. You know, like, this was a very specific niche scenario, and they
bullshit.
So yeah, so Sarah literally treks up the mountain an hour after Danny didn't finish. She thinking she done lost. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it up this mountain at 30-something years old, so my kids can see never give up and never quit. She literally gets up to the top thinking she lost, because she would have,
because she did. So Sarah and Danny win, but really just Danny win. No shade to the girl.
Yeah, Danny is the winner of the Challenge USA. I mean, point blank period. Like, Sarah, until I see Sarah's completed puzzle, and I want to see her completing it. Her win is questionable, but Danny, you ate that up, King. And you know what? We love another black man winning on the CBS.
I know that's the fuck right. CBS loves some black winners, some colored, some POC
representation. Eating it up.
Right. Sure. Overall, the season do better next season.
I think the issue was, first of all, it's a few things. At least for the eliminations, take out these equalizers for real. the eliminations in the finals, these equalizers have to go. It's making it a bore to watch. And I feel like specifically with the season, the heavy hitters got taken out early. You got Shan, you got Tiffany, you have Kylan. These are pretty dynamic players. Their personalities are interesting, and Alyssa took them out just to get outright for the final. So it's like, wow. Like my thing, Alyssa, if you're gonna take them out, at least be in the final. Like, damn.
At least be in the final. Didn't even make the final.
Alyssa asked for the loss too, no shade. So it really don't matter.
Very quickly. So girl, do better next season. I don't know what the fuck this final was for real.
Well, Taylor will be on the Challenge USA season 2. So
I was gonna eat.
She's gonna eat. She's gonna finish that puzzle. She's gonna finish her Sudoku. I hope she's studying.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna be right there with Amira. Let me stop.
Bye, bitch.
I really feel like Amira gonna be on the Challenge USA.
I feel like Amira gonna be there too. I literally for her and Jasmine.
Right, her, Jasmine, and Taylor. Child. It's gonna be Alyssa all over again. I ain't gonna be able to deal.
Literally. Check us out. We'll be covering next season. We'll also be covering the challenge, the real challenge, the MTV challenge
version.
So check us out on that. And shit, we're doing Survivor and Amazing Race.
Mwah.
Peace, love, and Pixie Dust.
Hair grease.